It's about time we go ahead and get into the real teachers of Christ. The real teachers of Christ. The Bible is real. The Bible is all true. But it gives you bits and pieces of what's being taught, being presented, not being presented in the right way. It's being used right as, as well as, people are teaching from the book. And they're teaching as the book is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is it's the understanding the rightfully dividing the word of truth, like Solomon's truth. Solomon's truth is not Jesus's truth. All right. I want to go ahead and give this to you because a lot of people are so confused about a woman being able to preach in the pulpits, though you see it happening all around you. You see it happening all around you. This was to come. you know, Jesus says we should look, check this out. He says, suffer not a woman to preach. Now, when he says suffer not, he's not talking about they're not able to preach. He's not talking about That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that though they can, it's not right that they should have to do this because this is your job. This is your job, and her job was to help tend to the garden as you are tending to the garden. But you got to understand the meaning of why Jesus said it like this. Solomon, on the other hand, he felt that though women should not speak unless spoken to. And this was regarding them being anywhere near or in the fancy temples or the church building, anywhere near the church building. This is why you see how they do it like this in the old fashioned way, but only in the ways of Solomon. This is not what Jesus was talking about, because in the beginning it wasn't even so. Yeah, the man was made first. The man named things, named animals, named all the creatures that God wanted him to name to see what he would call them. And whatever he called them, that's what it was. Now, right there, God said it's not good for a man to be alone. It's not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helpmate for him. All right, now, and he caused Adam to go into deep sleep, took the woman, and took the rib of the man, made out of that rib of the man a woman, and made that woman to be with the man, to help the man, to be the clothing of the man, or to be the glory of the man, doing the same thing. The thing is, to see, let me go ahead and put it like this. When he said that women should tend to, and this is exactly what they're doing. Right now, they're tending to the garden of God. And y'all don't understand this, but this is what is going on. She's doing what she's supposed to do as a woman. Now, the thing is the man, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a man. See, God says, look, if you're the glory of God, and a woman is the glory of a man. Now, hold up. God said, I will not give my glory unto another. So therefore, somebody gonna have to come in, all right, like Eve did, okay? Like God brought Eve to the man to be with the man, to become one with the man, and therefore that glory is not being shared because that glory is all God's glory. You get this right here? That's why the man and the woman must become one flesh, united. Halahashita. You know what I mean? And when they come together, you see what I'm saying? And become one, that means that they birthed a child. Reproduce. They was able to produce. You know what I'm saying? Produce a child or children. All right. The glory of God or the glory of a man and woman, it's going to be them children. All right. Now hold up. I need to go ahead and give y'all something. And we're going to go ahead in the book of Second Chronicles chapter 12, 15th verse. This is what it says. Now the acts of Rehoboam, first and last, are they not written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet and of Adu the seer? Now I want you to go ahead and go with me to the book of Shemaiah the prophet. All right. Chapter 1, verse 1, and I want you to get this. Now the real doctrine of the real, we're going in the book of Shemaiah. All right, that's reference from the Bible. And I got the books. Yes, I do. So I'm able to call things, yes, as they are, and not just give you some, opinionated info that I feel that is saying. No, I'm not doing that. All right, now here we go. First chapter. Now the real doctrine of the book of Shemaiah, all right? Now the real doctrine of the real Christ was not heard abroad. So what are you hearing? What is all over the world then? What are you hearing? I see sodomy, a lot of sodomy. I see a lot of homosexuality. I see a lot of acceptance regarding the things that's not being taught in the church. And they accepted that it ain't being taught in the church. So y'all accept this false reality of who Christ is. All right, now hold on now. Was not preached abroad, for only a select few knew the real sacred teachings of Christ. And the right useness, was not accounted as righteousness, but wickedness was a hot commodity. It was hot. It was the hot thing that was going on, kind of like today. Wickedness is just the hot thing going on. Even though it's ignorant as I don't know what, it's still the hot thing that's going on. Okay? For Christianity has spread her legs far and wide for all that will have her. Christianity is a Catholic religion. All right, now hold up. It's a pagan religion. I mean, you want to keep on going. All right. For all that will have her, and as her lie spreads far and wide across worlds of wickedness, thirsty souls drink it up and shout with loud mouths that they have discovered the gospel. Even after Enoch, the teacher of all that is good. Look at that. Who is the teacher of all that is good? Enoch, the teacher of all that is good, rebuked the third generation of the sons of his earthly father Jared, and taught his children's children that Jared was not really his father, nor was Adam really their ancestor. And he taught them that they need not see themselves as the seventh generation, which we are, all right, from their so-called forefather Adam, all right, for this was a divine point in time when he said unto them, I perceive myself as a child of my Father which is in heaven. Now, let me go ahead and take you where it's talking about women. And I want you to see the difference between Jesus saying that a woman, should not be suffered to preach, shouldn't have to preach. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Now, if they do preach, that don't mean that they're not look, that's not denoting them. That's not what Jesus was doing. He even sent Mary and them talk about the disciples. All right. They didn't know that Jesus was living until the woman, the one that testified that Jesus was alive. All right. The men was the ones that didn't believe at the time until Jesus popped in on them with the door closed and locked. Still was able to pop in on them. Told Thomas, put your hand here. Put your hand right there. Look, I'm here. Then he want to go and say, my Lord and my God, because you have seen me, you believe me, man. Blessed are those that have not seen, but yet have believed. All right, now this is the thing. Now, hold up. In the book of Shemaiah, that's referenced in the Bible at the 12th chapter, at the 15th verse. All right. But this is the book of Shemaiah that we are in. Okay. Now, I want you to see something here. Okay. And it was in the third generation. This is at the 9th verse, first chapter. And it was in the third generation of the sons of Jared. Enoch wrote a book of prophecy after that. All right. After he published it. And he then distributed it unto his granddaughters, women. And they all studied his book, and they admired the writings of Enoch. Why? And they learned how to be. Why did they admire it? Because they learned how to be holy women from listening to Enoch. Enoch. Women listen to Enoch. All right? But their husbands hated Enoch because they blamed Enoch for turning their wives into holy ones. Because in those days, the man had worked hard to corrupt their women in order to feel superior unto them by enticing them to perform fornication. You see this right here? All right. Okay. And then in the third chapter of the book of Shemaiah, I want to go ahead and take you to the 12th verse for a little while, just for a minute. Just to let y'all know a little something. This is how you know Solomon's teachings ain't Christ's teachings, all right? Because at the 12th verse it says, in the holes that women plucked in their ears to hang the stars of David from their ears were a metaphoric reminder that women should keep or be careful to hearken much and to speak little. Women were trained to keep silent if they were anywhere near Solomon's fancy church building. Women were instructed to prefer listening over speaking and to only speak when spoken to. But Enoch, who was in a particular, look at that, in this particular generation, known as Zadok. Look at that. The priest, for he had kept the name Zadok or Zedek, Melchizedek. All right, I want y'all to see that now. I want y'all to know that. Okay, just for short. All right, which he had preserved from his former names, Melchizedek or whatever, or Adonai Zadok. All right, and he had made Adonai Zadok to say Adonai Zadok for the sake of remembrance of his various generations of experiences in times past when he was known as Zadok or Sadek and or Sadak. Okay, he told people